And I'm back. Just got out of the grocery store. Anyway, now this is going to be an update on my family. And I honestly don't want to sound like a country song. But this is easier for my friends. Not everybody's a Facebook friend and doesn't always know what's going on. My husband had emergency surgery December 28th. We got home from rehab. He left the hospital and went to rehab for a few days on January 13th. And he had a lot of deficits. He had an infection between his scalp and his skull that had erupted between his skull and his dura, which is the hard, tough membrane that protects the brain. So they permanently removed the surgical flap, which was a little bigger than a tennis ball in size, and it was discarded. They washed out the area and sanitized it and sewed him back up and sent us home with the idea that later on he would have a prosthesis put in up there. And it was slow going getting him back, but finally he kind of rallied and got a little better. Then the 23rd of February, our daughter was home and her family, but they were leaving to go back to Missouri. And at about 6 o'clock in the morning, she comes screaming out of her bedroom that something was wrong with her brother, and her sister-in-law was hysterical. And so our son just lives around the corner, so she and her husband got in the car and went flying around the corner. Our son had been sick with flu B, I believed it was. He'd been sick for about 3 weeks. And he either had a stroke or had a seizure that morning. We're still waiting for him to meet with the neurologist in June to find out all the details of the MRI. It showed up clean, and then they also did an EEG to check for brainwave patterns, and we don't know the findings of that yet. So he's not been able to drive. He has an employee that stops by 2 or 3 times a week and picks him up and takes him to work, and then the rest of the time he works out of his home. And so I've been doing the running around with he and his son who has seizures. If they have to go to the doctor, or my son has to go for testing or whatever, plus taking care of my husband. Oh, then the 28th of February, I had another eye surgery done to pull that lid up a little more because it got where it didn't want to stay open. That was uneventful. So let's go fast forward to the COVID lockdown. Of course, we've been in quarantine since the 13th of January anyway, because of all the flus going around and my husband being so frail. They kept putting off his next surgery to replace that cap, that place in his brain to protect his brain because of the COVID thing. Then one day out of the blue, they call us and say, "Can we do it April 15th?" Yeah, I guess. He said, "Oh yeah, I want to get it done." So it was really weird because I had to take him to the hospital, leave him at the door. You know, they called me when they started the incisions. They called me throughout the surgery. They called me, let me know how he was doing. I talked to him. He was in there 2 days, and I talked to him. And then finally they said he woke up, kind of, come out of the fog from all the drugs, and said, "I'm going home today." And the nurse said actually she thought with all the COVID stuff that he would be safer at home. So the PA called and talked to me, and the nurse practitioner called and talked to me, and I went and picked him up at the hospital, which meant I pulled up out front, I called the nurse, and she brought him to the car. He is not like I would like to see him. I think we have progression from the disease, although it does not show up in the MRIs. The cancer actually puts out feelers or fingers that goes in through the brain tissue. And unless it's a tumor, that's something they don't pick up on what they run here. So I don't know exactly what's going on with him. He's been having more falls, and it's just sad. It's hard. So in June, my son should find out what happened to him. Hopefully it was just from the being so sick for so long. I hope my husband does better today. He's not doing real well, but well enough that I could run down and get the insulin. You know, he will stay in his chair pretty much. So that's our life update. We have 4 baby calves. There are lots of little geese out there. We had a crippled goose. These are Canadian. These are wild geese. We had a crippled goose that she has hung around our place for probably 3 or 4 years. Never mated, never anything. We took care of her, made sure she had food in the front yard, you know, prayed coyotes wouldn't get her. Well, she got her a husband this year. They do mate for life. And she has 5 babies. So that was such a thrill that she got to experience life. And she's a good mama, and he's a good daddy. So I doubt that she will ever leave our place, and he won't leave because she won't leave. And we'll probably have those babies around this year too. So we probably have 30 of them out in the pasture. We feed them every day. I go out and give them food. That is just about all going on. Maybe one day I'll tell you the story about the donkey that showed up out of the blue, went through 2 fences to get to our house to court our female donkey, which probably we should have a baby on the ground next spring. Not what I wanted, but anyway, it's always good to see y'all. You know I love you, and God bless you. Bye-bye.